What's the first movie you did?
Well, I just remembered actually how I annoyed Paul Reiser when he first came to San Francisco. I've got to share this quickly because
Go ahead.
I was living in San Francisco at the time. He had done Diner, so he was an immediate hero. And back then, I called the owner of the comedy club and said, can you, tell me what hotel he's staying at? And they would tell you. And then when you call the hotel, they would ring his room when you asked for him by name.
Yeah.
Imagine such a time. And so I knew he liked Peter Falk. So I called his hotel room. He answered the phone. And he said, yes, hello. And I said, Paul, it's Peter Falk. How are you, sir? It's great to see. I was driving down the street with the wife there, and we see your name on the marquee. We're going to come to the show this weekend. And he immediately goes, oh, Mr. Falk, I can't believe you're calling me. This is the greatest thing. I had no idea that you even knew I was a person. This is great. But by the way, so 30 seconds in, I'm like, I can't break. He's
committed to the bit, sir.
He's loving talking to Peter Falk so much, I don't want to break his heart. So now I'm 5 minutes we talk. He's having the greatest conversation with Peter Falk you can imagine. Mr. Falk, I can't believe, when I saw you in this, the Cassavetes' early pictures, and you really inspired such greatness. And so we hang up. I hang up as Peter Falk. Should we come to the first show or the second show Saturday? And now I'm in my apartment. I'm thinking, I got to call him back. This is so stupid. I mean, I called to meet Paul Reiser, and I did not accomplish that. So I called back, and then when he answered, I chickened out and started doing Peter Falk again. Listen, Paul, I forgot to mention. And then I said that this is actually a local comedian. My name is Kevin Pollak. And then the longest pause on the phone from his side ever. And then he finally said, you are not a nice person. Can I be honest? That was a horrible thing to do. What is the matter with you? And then he started laughing. And,
oh, thank goodness.
Yeah.
And then, so that's how you got to meet.
So that's how we ultimately became friends.
Oh, my God.
In fact, someone sent me a clip where Michael Keaton told the story where I once called him also as Peter Falk. I think it was on Conan or something. So that's what made me think of them. I used to call people a lot as other people.
Is that right?
Yeah. I once called The Tonight Show when I first got to L.A. as Peter Falk. Because Johnny had Peter on all the time. Loved him.
Uh-huh.
I mean, 3-4 times a year. And so I called, you would just call the NBC front desk. John Q. Public could make this call. Hi, this is Peter Falk. Could you put me through to Johnny, please? And they do. And they did.
Come on. Hold on a second.
So then, but I just got his executive secretary.
Okay, right.
Who had been with him a long time. But the impression was so good that she couldn't say, wait a second. She said, I'll tell you what, Peter, when is a good time I'll have Peter call you back? Johnny call you back. She wasn't about to put me through.
Okay, so Okay, so you couldn't fool Johnny Carson's executive secretary. But I did talk to Carson's
executive assistant. But then when I finally got on the Tonight Show and did the Peter Falk for Johnny, I mean, I orchestrated my first appearance in such a way that, because I was such a fan of the show that I dreamt since I'm 10 years old watching the Tonight Show of standing there and doing the. But by the time I met the gatekeeper, Jim McCauley was his name, whose job it was to book comedians on the show. And he would circle you for a couple of weeks because you had to have 2 appearances. Because if you did great, Johnny would say, bring him back right away. So he would circle till he knew you had 2 6-minute appearances in your stand-up.
Right.
So one night I passed him at the Improv, and hey, Jim, how you doing? Good. I said, who are you here to see tonight? I said, well, the guy I was here to see, I just saw the list canceled, but I went down the list, saw your name, so I'm going to watch you tonight. I think you might be ready to do the show.
Oh, boy.
I've been waiting my whole life for this moment.
I bet.
And I say to him things I had never thought or said out loud or into a mirror. I just said, well, Jim, I've been waiting my whole life for this moment. And I've been a fan of the show since I'm 10, and I know, I think I would have a greater impact from the couch than doing my stand-up. I do Peter Falk and the voices right with Johnny. Now, I know there's a protocol, and you're not bringing me to the couch. But I'm willing, I think, to wait till I have a TV show or a movie.
Jeez.
Wow. And then you can justify bringing me to the couch, but then I'll still just open with Peter Falk. And Jim looked at me like I had just landed. not in an airplane, and said, "Do you have a TV show or a movie coming out anytime soon?" Now, what I didn't tell him was I didn't even have an agent. That's how far I was from having a TV show or a movie.
Yeah.
So I said, no, but listen, I may call you back in an hour and beg for this. But I just think, he said, I can't disagree. Yes, you will kill from the couch. And no, I'm not going to put you on the couch. But if you want to wait, you're only going to get better. That's fine for me.
Yeah.
We'll see how long you can wait.
Right.
Took a little over a year. I had Willow, the Ron Howard picture, where they could justify bringing me to the couch. But I orchestrated this whole thing, and I'm standing behind the curtain. Mm-hmm. Doc and the band's playing down after commercial, and Johnny says, folks, my next guest is an actor who's got a new movie coming out called Willow, Ron Howard picture. We'll talk about that. And apparently he's also a comedian. Please welcome Kevin Pollak. Now, I had rehearsed coming through that curtain also 1,000 times. I knew not to wave at Doc and the band. You're not cool yet. Not on the first time. That's the second time, if there is one. Go get to the couch. I get to the couch, I sit down, and Johnny says, now, Kevin, welcome. We'll talk about Willow in just a second. Somebody told me that you do impersonations. Is that right? And without missing a beat, I said, Johnny, that's a bold-faced lie. I don't know who told you that, but they were lying. And he's laughing so hard, he pushes himself away from the desk, clutching his chest, as he would do. And I was a made man in that moment. He had me back on 2-3 times a year until he retired. And I promise you, it's because I knew he loved Peter Falk. That's it. It took me 25 years to realize that doing an impression is a parlor trick. If I can think of someone you like and I can recreate them in front of you, I'll steal the affection you have for the actual person.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku Channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.